Michael Moore. You know, you've been on the show. You've been on the show a few times, and we've actually never talked about this. But you had a very strict Catholic upbringing.
Well, that's true. My parents are good Irish Catholics, as I'm sure.
Yeah, we will one day rule the world. Yeah. No, mine too. I grew up large family Irish Catholic, pretty serious Irish Catholics, actually.
Right. And I just got married a couple years ago and had a big Catholic wedding, and it was great. And you know, there's many good things about that upbringing, as I'm sure you would agree.
Yes, there are. Yes, there are. There's some good things about it. Yeah.
No, I think the values and a lot of things about how to treat people, I think those are really important things. But some of the things you would have to agree, like confession. You know, we're a little, you know, we had two priests in our church. We had like the strict priest and then the hippie priest, you know. And
always go to the hippie priest.
Always go to the hippie priest. Because when you got your penance, which is your punishment for the sins you committed, you got little or no penances, whereas the strict priest, so you'd be standing there in line, you see the red and the green light above the box.
That's right.
You're hoping, oh, please give me the hippie priest. Please give me the hippie priest, you know. And then you get the hard priest and you have to do 15 rosaries. Well, anyways, I got to thinking on TV Nation this summer, wouldn't it be interesting, just as a guide for our Catholic viewers, if we did sort of a consumer guide to the confessional booth, where, you know, those of us who are Catholic on the staff would go to confession at, say, 30 area churches here and find out who's giving out the easiest penance. Because
where were you when I was a kid? I could have used this.
Well, yeah, because there's no standard sentencing in the Catholic Church. You know, there's like, you know, one sin could get you, you know, 5 Hail Marys here and 10 Hail Marys there.
Right. It's all over the map. These priests can just make it up as they go along.
Yeah, it's really not right. I mean, there should just be one. Here's the sin. Here's the punishment. Right. You know, so you know in advance before you commit the sin. Well, anyway, so I asked our correspondent Janine Garofalo, fellow Catholic, Italian Catholic.
Yeah. Right. Hardcore. Yeah. There's room for that. There's room for them too in this world. Yeah.
If she would go to a number of churches with me to go to confession, but I said, now this is a documentary show. It's nonfiction, so you have to actually commit real sins. And so I said, what sin do you want to commit? And she said, how about, you know, impure thoughts? And I said, okay, well then we hired a male model to travel around in the van with her so she could look at him and have lustful thoughts.
And really have lustful thoughts, and not have to make it up.
Yeah, no, it cannot be made up. You should never go to confession unless you really have committed the sin. So anyways, we sent her to these churches, and I've got a clip here.
You brought a clip of this, actually.
I've got a clip of this.
All right.
To where now she's gone to the churches, and she's speaking now to a priest about, you know, what she should do.
Okay, let's take a look at this.
Sin is like having mice. If you think you have them, you do. You need to pray, as they say, take cold showers. The description of hell is demons going about, poking people with forks and spears, and that you can't even lift your hand to take a worm that may be crawling into your eye. So it's perfectly all right to be afraid of hell.
You know what I think hell is?
What?
It's a bunch of Stairmasters. They're all at the Department of Motor Vehicles, and the only music you get is karaoke style.
That priest was at a central casting.
He was an actor priest.
He looked like an actor.
He was an actor priest. But I remember one time in 6th grade asking the nun, you know, how do you know if it's a venial sin or a mortal sin? Did you ever used to have this problem? Because
no, I was always in the back reading something. An Iron Man comic book.
I went to the seminary to be a priest, so
you were hardcore. You were in the seminary.
No, and still live my life that way to this day. Although I may be thrown out after this, but
they don't like you sending around reporters to the.
I think they give Irish Catholics a sort of special dispensation because they realize that we're a little off, you know. So
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's only right. It's only right.
But the nun would, I'd say, how would you know if the impure thought was a venial sin or a mortal sin? And she would say, well, if the impure thought comes through your head and just passes through, it's venial. If you hold it for more than 5 seconds, it's a mortal sin. So
I never heard that. They're that technical about it.
Yeah, right. There's a 5-second time limit. So like I would get one of those thoughts and I go, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, go!
Get out of here. So you were in the seminary. Were you wearing the robes and the
yeah,
whole...
yeah. I was doing all that. I wanted to be a priest. I thought that would be a good way to, you know, the war was going on then. I thought the Berrigan brothers were really cool, and you know, I wanted to do something to, you know, better the world. And
yeah. So now tell me. So why didn't it work out? When did you start to realize this isn't me with the robes and the?
Well, I was 14 when I went in, and 15 when I left, and you know, girls, you know.
Girls happened.
Yeah.
They've screwed up the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. And it was a good thing.
Yeah.
Girls are a good thing, Conan.
Yes, I know that. And something we can all agree on.
Andy would agree with us.
We're all together
girls
on
are
this.
a good thing.
We're all
Okay.
together on this. This segment has ended with something everybody in the world can agree on. All right. Well, Canadian Bacon comes out this Friday.
This Friday in New York, Los Angeles, Washington, and Toronto, and Buffalo, and then we'll be out across the rest of the United States in about 2 weeks. Go see it. It's if you like TV Nation, Roger Me, it's the same kind of humor.
And it's a great cast. It's a terrific cast.
Rip Torn, Stephen Wright.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
See it.
Thanks. Thank you.
Michael Moore, everybody. Thanks a lot for coming back.
Thanks a lot.
We'll stick